Sawda bin Zama, her brother Abdullah, when he found out, he went off, man. He went to his father Zama and he said, hey man, how could you let her marry Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And Abdullah, he got so angry that he picked up a handful of sand and he threw it in his face. This is how enraged he was. But you know what? Later on, see, because there's the test, right? Now, inshallah, after the test comes ease. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Verily with hardship is ease. Verily with hardship is ease. You know what happened to Abdullah later on? Let me give you a hint. I'm going to say his name. Abdullah bin Zama radiyallahu anhu. Abdullah became a Muslim. He became a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you know what he said after that? He said, may I be destroyed on the day that I took that dust and threw it in my face because I objected to Sawda, my sister, marrying al-Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's talk about some of the important things that happened in the marriage of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Sawda bin Zama, because you have to realize there was a long period there where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam only lived with Sawda, because Aisha radiallahu anha would come and live with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam later on in Medina. The first one is that the call, the da'wah, it went outside of Mecca. That the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, who he trained like Musab ibn Umair, they began to spread the call of Islam to the different tribes and individuals who lived outside of Medina. The people of Medina came to Mecca as a breeze giving hope to the Muslims in Mecca. And those people from Medina, they pledged to the Prophet ﷺ in the first Aqaba pledge to believe in his call and to accept his call. And then in the second Aqaba pledge, they agreed to help and defend and serve the call of the Prophet ﷺ, thereby open the gate for the hijrah of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ to Medina. Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj happened while the Prophet ﷺ was married to Sawda bin Zama radiyallahu anha. Imagine if your husband came home and said that those things happened to him. What type of strength you would have to support your husband. Many people at that time left Islam when they heard that the Prophet was saying that he made Isra wal Mi'raj. So Sawda bin Zama, she was supporting the da'iyah. She was supporting the one who was calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. An-Nadwa, the council of the Quraish, which they made, they agreed therein to assassinate the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And finally, the migration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took place while Sawda bin Zama radiyallahu anha was living with him. How did Sawda bin Zama migrate to Medina? SubhanAllah, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he asked Zayd bin Thabit and Abu Rafa'i to migrate with the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gave them 500 dirham. Thus Zayd and Abu Rafa'i migrated, taking Fatima, al-Kuthum, Ayman, Sawda bin Zama, Ayman al-Habashi, who was the wife of Zayd, and with them was a small baby boy. And his name was Usama bin Zayd radiyallahu an. Usama bin Zayd, the same young boy that at the age of 16 or 17 would be sent by the Prophet ﷺ from his deathbed to lead the last army that was sent out by the Prophet ﷺ and would be later sent out by Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. Some of the great qualities of Sawda that we want to focus on, that hopefully inshallah ta'ala our sisters can acquire, and that as brothers we can help our wives to acquire and our daughters to acquire. And also at the same time these qualities apply to brothers. The first one was her sacrifice for knowledge. They say al-ilm imam al-amal, that knowledge is the imam of actions. So Sawda bin Zama, she knew that in order to be a good practicing Muslimah, she had to have knowledge. Nowadays we find people who think we can just practice without knowledge. But this is very dangerous. And we hear people say that, the world is like a burning house and we're walking by it as Muslims and we got to run in the house and start grabbing people and pulling them out. Yes, but even the fire department, before they run up in a burning house, they take what with them? The blueprints. So Sawda bin Zama, she wanted the blueprints. And she worked hard to gain knowledge. You know, after the Prophet ﷺ, in an authentic hadith, after he migrated to Medina, and there in Medina he married Aisha radiallahu anha, Sawda bin Zama, she got scared. She thought, now the Prophet ﷺ, he has Aisha. She's young and she's so pretty and beautiful. I'm sure, she said, that the Prophet ﷺ, he's going to divorce me. And she got nervous. And she came to the Prophet ﷺ one day, and she said, Ya Rasulullah, because Sawda bin Zama at that time, she was old. She said, Ya Rasulullah, if you desire, I'm going to give you my night, and you can give that night to Aisha radiallahu anha. But just keep me as your wife. The Prophet ﷺ had no intention of divorcing Sawda bin Zama radiallahu anha, but he accepted this agreement. And subhanallah, he stayed with Sawda bin Zama even after that. Why did she do this? What would make her give up this night with the Prophet ﷺ? Because she gave up that night, but she maintained her companionship with the Prophet ﷺ. And she continued to learn from Rasulullah ﷺ. And she continued to see him and his, mashallah, glowing example in her life. What about us nowadays, sisters? We find it hard just to read one book. We find it hard to memorize just a little bit of the Quran, to memorize, brothers and sisters, a few hadith, to go to a dars, to enroll in an Islamic university, to study, to attend the lessons of different mashaykh. We're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to go. SubhanAllah, look at the struggle of Sawda bin Zama. It's important to realize that what made this Muslim ummah so great was founded on the struggles of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. Their struggles are our foundation. And nowadays we lost that edge to struggle, to learn, to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be good people. But here we find Sawda bin Zama continually struggling, even giving up her night with the Prophet ﷺ. Why? So that she could continue to learn from the Prophet ﷺ. Another proof about the interest that Sawda had, radiyallahu anha, in knowledge, is that she used to ask the Prophet ﷺ questions. And one time the animal of Sawda bin Zama, it died. And she came to the Prophet ﷺ and she asked the Prophet ﷺ, is this halal? Can we eat this? And subhanAllah, look at the barakah of our mother Sawda bin Zama, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down a verse of Quran due to the question of our mother Sawda bin Zama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
قُلْ لَا أَجِدُ فِي مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ مُحَرَّمًا عَلَى طَاعِمٍ يَطْعَمُهُ إِلَّا أَن يَكُونَ ميتة أو دما مسفوحا أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس أو فسقا أهل لغير الله به فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن ربك غفور رحيم.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this verse in Surah Al-An'am, the 6th chapter of the Quran, where it says, say, O Muhammad, I do not find anything that has been revealed to me saying that any type of food is haram except. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started to mention some of the types of things which are haram, and one of those things He mentioned was the animal that died of itself. SubhanAllah, sisters, by asking questions and being inquisitive to learn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent verses of Quran, subhanAllah, because of those questions and the inquisitive nature of our mother, Sawda bin Zama. Unfortunately, when we go to conferences now, or if we give lectures in the masajid, the sisters are not even given an outlet to ask questions. We should, insha'Allah ta'ala, brothers, allow our sisters to write down their questions and ask their questions to our scholars so that they can learn, because our sisters are the ones who are going to raise our children.